All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Today is Millionaire Monday, and I am super duper excited about today's show. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you are coming on, joining me live, I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that share button, and I need you to tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta today. Today is Monday, and I am super excited. Monday is my favorite day of the week, at least my favorite work day of the week. Of course, I love Sunday. So if you're coming on, today is Monday, May the 9th, 2022. We have just celebrated Mother's Day this past weekend. We had an extraordinary Mother's Day celebration yesterday at, we had 3 services yesterday I went to. 3 different services, 3 different church services. So it was absolutely amazing. So if you're coming on while we're live, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Please tag somebody and put in the comments what city you're watching me from today on this beautiful Monday. It's a beautiful day outside. I am super excited. We are now on the other side of Mother's Day, and we want to make this Millionaire Monday count. And if you want to make this Millionaire Monday count, then guess what? You're going to have to get you a pen, a notepad, some paper, some type of device other than the device that you're watching me on, because I'm about to give you the game. I'm about to give you the game. And I'm about to explain to you why you should go big in business. So for all of you that are entrepreneurs, all of you that are business owners, if you are a ministry leader, if you run or own an organization, then I'm talking to you directly today, because I want to help you not just to start what you're doing or structure and restructure what you're doing, but I want to help you scale what you're doing so that you can start seeing revenue, so that you can start seeing results. I mean, why are we in business? Why do we do what we do every day as entrepreneurs? Well, one of the reasons why is because we want to make money. And this is one of the reasons why I know you should go as big as you possibly can in your business. So please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube page, please subscribe to my YouTube page. We have 7.2K subscribers. We are approaching 10,000 subscribers, and we are soon to be at 100,000 subscribers. One of my goals this year is to get to at least 100,000 subscribers on YouTube so I can get my 100,000 wow plaque. I want a 100,000 subscriber plaque so bad from YouTube, and I'm gonna get it, and I want you to help me get it. So if you have friends and family members and colleagues and co-workers and fellow employees and partners and people that you know who love business and finance and investing and economics, please invite them to join us on YouTube and to subscribe to my YouTube page. We have probably about 1,500 videos. Most of them are about business and economics and financial literacy and investing and family wealth building and everything in between. So I want to welcome all of you today to the Ramon Preston Show. Again, my name is Ramon Preston. I am your host of this show, and every Monday through Friday, like today, Monday, May the 9th, just in case you're trying to figure out, are we live? Yes, we are live in real time today. It's 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Every Monday through Friday, we show up here on the Ramon Preston Show, and we show up to share information with you that can help you properly start your business, structure your business, and scale your business to 6 figures and beyond. And so if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a business owner, or you're already a business owner, if you're just thinking about taking your financial situation to another level, whatever the case is, I want to talk to you today about why you should go big. Now, we're going to debunk, we're going to just crush a couple myths, because one of the myths that I hear a lot of people say is, bigger is not always better. Well, it's like beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I guess bigger is in the hand of the beholder. Like, what do you mean bigger is not always better? Depending on what you're talking about. But when it comes to business, when it comes to success, when it comes to solidifying your legacy and guaranteeing your financial freedom, listen, bigger is better. Because the bigger you are, the better off you're gonna be. And now for people who have gotten big and have failed, or for people who have tried to get big and failed, we're going to talk about that today too. Because a lot of times people who believe bigger is not better are people who tried to get big or at one point got big, failed because of mistakes that they made, blind spots that they had that they didn't see, and because they failed and went back small, they now make sense of why it should be small and why they should stay small. But that's not the case. There is absolutely no major successful company on this planet that will tell you small is the way to go. Ask Coca-Cola is bigger better. Ask Berkshire Hathaway is bigger better. Ask Amazon is bigger better. Oh, I'm sorry. Ask Elon Musk and Tesla is bigger better. Ask JP Morgan is bigger better. Ask BlackRock and Blackstone is bigger better. Ask Merrill Lynch is bigger better. Ask Johnson & Johnson is bigger better. Ask Walmart. Ask these major whale of companies is bigger better. Of course, bigger is better. And again, for people who say bigger is not better, what are you talking about? Are you talking about size of a human being? Or are you talking about something that really doesn't have anything to do with business? When it comes to business, when it comes to your financial success, when it comes to your ultimate freedom, personally, professionally, and financially, guess what? Bigger is better. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, why you should go big, why you should go big. Now, there are a few things that I want to address even while we start this discussion, which, by the way, if you have any questions, all you have to do is drop the questions in the comments. If you drop the questions in the comments, my team and I, we always look at the comments as much as we can during the live show, and we will pull those comments, and I'll do my best to circle back around and answer any questions that you may have if you put them in the comments. But I want to start by sharing this statistic with you, and it's really a study that someone did, and I was reading about it, and when I got to this part of the study, which is a statistic now, it really captured my attention because there was a study done, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this study was linked to some type of study that the SBA, the Small Business Administration, did. Of course, there are so many different studies, there are so many different statistics. I mean, you could Google just about anything and find something to validate what you believe is a study or a statistic. But this particular study was done, and it's connected to the SBA, which just means that the report is pretty accurate, it's pretty clear. But this one study suggested that about 500,000, think about this here, 500,000 businesses close every year. Think about that. Every year, 500,000 businesses close. Now, of course, if you think about businesses failing, that number may be more. But we're not talking about failing, okay? We're not talking about failing. We're just talking about closing. Businesses that are open, and then by the end of the year, businesses that are closed. There was a study done that showed about 500,000 businesses that are open today close before the calendar year ends, okay? So that's about 500,000 businesses that close every year. Almost all of these businesses, not everyone, but the overwhelming majority of these businesses because some of them close for different reasons, okay? Some businesses close because the owner is retiring. Some businesses close because the owner is pivoting into another business. So while they close this one, they start another one. Some businesses close because they're moving out of the country. Like my wife and I, we have a couple clients right now that are leaving the country. And so they're basically liquidating all of their physical assets. They want to liquidate, get their cash, and they're taking off. They're leaving the country. Now, with that being said, out of the 500,000 businesses that close every year, the overwhelming majority of these businesses close because they do not have the ability or the capacity to stay open. Okay? This is very, very important, because these 500,000 businesses that close, even though there are more that fail, because there are a lot of businesses that fail, but they don't close. Like, for example, if you have a business and your business, or you know somebody that got a business and their business is not making money, but they pay their annual registration every year, they still got a bank account, they still use their EIN from time to time, they still track their expenses even though they don't make income, so that when they do their taxes every year, they can put that expense on their tax report, all that. So it's not like that business closed, it's just that from a financial perspective, the business failed because it really didn't generate enough revenue to sustain the business owner and to feed and fund the business. So we're not talking about the businesses that close fail. We're just talking about the businesses that close. But the overwhelming majority of these 500,000 businesses that close every year, on an average, that number may have went up during the pandemic, but on average, 500,000 businesses close every year. The overwhelming majority of these businesses that close every year, they are closing because here's why they're closing. They're closing because they don't have the money. They cannot basically keep the business running. They don't have the ability to keep the business running, and they don't have the financial capacity to keep the business running. But if you dig deep into the research of the businesses that fail and the businesses that close, like this 500,000 business I'm talking about right now, what you're going to find out is almost all of these businesses have one thing in common. They have one single owner. Okay? Most of these businesses that close and fail have the same thing in common. They have one single owner. At best, they may have two, and that's only if the two are a husband and a wife. Otherwise, most businesses have single owners. So like, for example, my wife and I, we both own our main business. So that wouldn't be a single owner, that would be a couple that owns a business. So most of the businesses that close, even fail, even though those numbers are different, are one single owner businesses, or those businesses are being ran by just the people who own it. So that means there are no employees, they have no third parties that they outsource work to. They may not have virtual assistants, and some of them may have virtual assistants, but they really don't have businesses set up. And this is a part of what I try my best to educate my students on and to work with my clients on, so that they can understand, if you're not growing your business to get your business as big as possible, you are almost by default guaranteeing that your business is going to fail. You are almost guaranteeing that your business is going to fail. How am I guaranteeing that my business is going to fail? Well, because if everything around you is growing, which, by the way, healthy things grow. There is nothing on this planet that is healthy that's not growing. Okay? I mean, tell me something you know that's healthy that ain't growing. A baby grows when a baby is healthy. A tree grows when a tree is healthy. Everything grows when it's healthy. Animals grow when they're healthy. Businesses grow when they're healthy. So if your business is not growing, what exactly is your business doing? Because if it's healthy, it's growing. If it's not growing, it's unhealthy. And if it's unhealthy and it's not growing, guess what exactly is it doing? It's dying. And so most of these businesses that close, most of the businesses that fail, it's just one or two people at best that own the business, whether it's a person or a couple, and they're not growing. So the problem starts with the owner of the business. Here's where the problem starts. The owner is not growing. So when the owner doesn't grow, how can the business grow? And so if the owner is not growing and the business is not growing, then guess what? The business is going to fail, because your business is only going to be a reflection of who you are and what you do. So if me as an owner of a business, if I'm growing, if me as an owner of a business, if I'm expanding, then at a certain stage of my growth and expansion, my business is going to begin to grow and expand. Now, if you disagree with me, I would love to get your perspective on why you disagree with me. But if you do agree with me, if you know your business needs to go big and go as big as you possibly can, I want you to do me a favor, just for the trolls and for the haters that might watch this video. I want you to put in the comments, I gotta go big. Put that in the comments. I got to go big. If you're an entrepreneur, I want you to put that in the comments. I got to go big. I gotta go big. You gotta go big. You gotta go big. And I'm going to share some things with you that you need to do in order to go big. But you got to go big. Your business has to go big. You've got to want to be as big as you possibly can in your business. And I'm going to show you some things that you're going to have to do if, in fact, you're going to go big. One of the reasons why most businesses stay small. So one of the reasons why most businesses stay small is because the owner doesn't know what they're doing. This is one of the reasons why businesses stay small. One of the reasons why businesses stay small and never go big is because the owner doesn't know what they're doing. So can we touch on that for a minute? Can we touch on that for a minute? Why do I say businesses stay small and never go big and never get big, never grow, never expand? Because owners don't know what they're doing. What do you mean by an owner doesn't know what they're doing? Well, for example, there are different components to a business, okay? So there's a technical component to a business. I'm going to be talking about this tonight, by the way. If you're a part of our coaching program or you're in our Millionaire mentorship program, I'm going to be talking about these components to a business because it's really going to help you. So if you're not a part of our coaching program, our mentorship program, I really want to urge you to join our 1-year accelerated coaching and consulting program, especially if you don't know what you're doing and how to build and expand and grow your business. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about these 3 components to a business. I'm going to go in great detail. And for those of you that do not have a coach, you do not have a business consultant, you're not a part of a business community to help you get in the know so that at some point you can grow, I want you to really think about it, even throughout this show today, on how beneficial it can be for you if you had a business coach, a consultant, and a community that could really help you accelerate your growth and your expansion. But let me explain to you what I mean by why businesses stay small and don't go big. They don't grow. One reason is because the owner doesn't know what they're doing. Because there are different components to a business. So number one, there's a technical component, right? Number 2, there's a transactional component. And man, I hope for those of you that are part of our mentorship program, please be on the call tonight, because we're going to have a great discussion about this. And then there's a transformational. I'm going to just give you a little bit about this so that you can see it. So again, there's a technical component to your business, there's a transactional component to your business, and then there's a transformational component to your business. So I'm gonna just share a little bit with you so you can understand why I say businesses stay small, because the owner doesn't know. Most business owners, most people who get into business ownership, most people who decide they're going to take their idea, they're going to quit their job or fire their boss, which is stupid to even think that's the way you should approach it. But some people just think that's the right way. But the people who fire their boss, start their own business, most of the times they are one of the three, or they operate in one of these three capacities. So they're either transformational type people, they go-getters, they innovators, they're entrepreneurial. You know, like for me, when I first started my business, I would have been considered a transformational business owner, because I'm always thinking about the bigger picture. I'm always thinking about how to get to the next level. I always had 1,000 ideas. Every week I had something new I wanted to do. And if it didn't work this week, I'll scrap it and try something else. And I was just all over the place because I was transformational. I was always transforming into the next best version of myself. Okay? But the problem is, being a transformational entrepreneur or a transformational business owner, I was hindered because I was not a technical or transactional person. But then you got some people who are transactional and they're not transformational or technical. So most business owners and people who get into business, they are not all three. They may have traits of all three, but they're really not all three. Because in order for you to be all three of these, and every business owner needs to be all three of these if they don't want to stay small. I promise you, and all you got to do is look at yourself if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, or just take a look at people who you see are business owners. Look at what they do and see if you see all three of these. Because if they are a technical person, that means they're working on the nuts and bolts of their business. Let's say, for example, if they own a landscaping business, they're probably technically good at cutting grass, right? Let's say if they own a digital marketing business, they may be really good at graphic design or digital marketing. Let's say if they own a hair salon, they may be good at doing hair. Let's say if they own an apparel company and an online store, they may be good at designing apparel and putting designs on clothes and shirts and hats and hoodies and stuff. Let's say that they own a business for coaching and consulting and mentoring and motivational speaking. They may be good at communication. So they may be technically good at the thing that they do. But being technical and not being transactional, meaning that they don't have the ability to manage their businesses. They don't know how to run the day-to-day operations, so they're not really transactional. They may make a little money technically, but they'll never really start expanding their business transactionally or transformationally because they don't have all three. Very few business owners start businesses and have all three of these components. Very few people. Because again, when I started my business, I had the transformational side, but technically, it really wasn't like I was extraordinarily good at one thing that made sense in my business. I was just good at a whole lot of stuff, and I could pick up easily, I could understand and process things easy, but none of them really materialized into a solid product or a solid service. And then I was not good transactionally, which means that I didn't have like organization. I really wasn't good at administration. I didn't have the patience to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. I just wanted to run 1,000 miles per hour because I was transformational. Well, guess what? This is why most businesses stay small. They never go big. So let's reverse it. If you want to go big as a business owner, if you want to be big, if you want to expand and increase your business so that it can grow and so that you can experience more freedom, then guess what you're going to have to do? First of all, you're going to have to get in the know. You got to get knowledge. And if you have a little bit of all three, or maybe more of one or two of all three, you've got to start getting knowledge on all of these things. You can't just be knowledgeable about what you're good at doing technically. That's not going to grow your business. You can't just get good at operating your business, managing your business, making sure all your paperwork is together, because that's not going to single-handedly grow your business. And you can't just be good at vision, having ideas, always coming up with a new invention and being able to innovate and pivot, and you a mover and you a shaker. You're never going to grow. You will inevitably stay small. If you agree with me on that, give me some feedback in the comments, and I want you to let me know, out of these three, which one do you think you're strongest at? If you had to choose out of these three, which is your strongest? Mine would be transformational. That's how I started my business. I was just a transformational entrepreneur. I loved business. I loved free enterprise. I loved everything about entrepreneurship, but I really didn't understand all the work that was going to have to go into really building a legitimate business. I didn't know I was going to have to really get good at something and specialize in that thing and focus some of my attention on certain things that I could hone in on and separate myself from other people. I really didn't know that from a transactional perspective, there were layers of operations and administrations and systems and processes and day-to-day management that I just didn't even have the skill set. I didn't have the education. I didn't have the ability to do. But I was transformational though. I had ideas. I want to be a billionaire. I'm a grinder. I can get out there and scrap and make it happen. And guess what? I stayed small. It wasn't until I was able to take these three, get in the know, start learning, start growing, start developing, not just my mindset, but start developing my skill set. It wasn't until then that I really started seeing a lot of transformational growth. So I would love to know from you, based on these three components of a business, which one are you? Because whichever one you are, I guarantee your business is like that. I guarantee your business is like that. Now, listen, don't tell me, oh, I'm all three, and you're just a solopreneur. You're lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. Don't come in my comments telling me, Prophet Ramon, I'm all three. I'm technical, I'm transactional, and I'm transformational. No, you ain't if you ain't got 100 employees. Like, I'm not all three. And if I got more employees than you, and I'm telling you I'm not all three, come on, cut the crap. Stop playing with yourself. Don't finesse yourself out of success. If you are a solopreneur, or if you are starting the process of growing as an entrepreneur, do not tell me that you are all three. You may have traits of all three. You may have the ability to function to some capacity in all three, but you can't tell me you just got all three of these crushed and you don't have employees and your business is not growing and you're not expanding. You just can't do that. You can't lie to yourself like that. Like, I'm not the coach or the consultant. I'm not the internet guru. I'm not the mogul that you're going to convince that you got all three and you don't have all three because your business is showing it. You got to keep it 100 with yourself. So I am in the process of taking my business from infancy, through adolescence into adulthood. And so for me, even on an adolescent stage, moving into adulthood, I'm learning this because I'm in the process of hiring more people. I'm in the process of expanding my business. But while I hire new people and expand my business, I have to know more about each aspect, each component of business. I'm learning that, wow, I've got to get more information about being a transformational leader. I got to think bigger. Transactionally, when it comes to systems and processes and operations, matter of fact, one of my next hires is really going to be more of a transactional hire where I'm able to fill in that gap to help manage and really administrate some of the day-to-day operations of my organization, because I'm realizing that I'm starting to glitch in that area because I can't move transformationally as fast as I want to move. I'm hiring more technical people. At some point, I'll hire more transformational people. But guess what? At least I can be honest with myself. So please let me know in the comments, out of those three, which one do you think is your strongest suit? Like, which one best describes you today? If you had to pick one as your strongest, are you a technical business owner, meaning that you're good at the thing you're trying to sell? You're good at cutting hair, you're good at apparel, you're good at speaking. You may be technically good, but in terms of transaction, you're not good at systems. You don't have all your systems in place. If you do, that means you would have a sales system, you got your CRM in place, maybe you have a solid marketing system already, maybe you have a solid financial system, operational system, you have software and processes for all the things that you do, you're documenting it, your business has some automation to it. That means you may be more transactional. But if you're transformational, that means you just think big. You got a lot of big thoughts. You want to be a billionaire. You got a mentality to be great, but you're not quite covering all these other ones. So I'm going to really be talking about this tonight in a deep dive with all of our clients, because a lot of our clients are starting to get some momentum and they're starting to build infrastructures around one or two of their strong suits so that they can see, wow, it's going to take me some time. I always tell this to my students and my clients, especially those who are in my ecosystem for at least a year. The reason why most of my programs are 1 year is because it typically takes, and I'm saying this as a professional, I'm saying this as a business consultant. It ain't something I'm just coming up with great ideas about. I know this. Just do the math. Just study, research, fact check me. It takes about a year from the startup of a business to at least really locking into a rhythm for your business. It's going to take you about a year. Once you get into that first year, I'm talking about from start to really getting a rhythm, it's probably going to take you 2 or 3 more years to really hone in on becoming extremely good at these things, that you're able to now start hiring people because you're making money, you have transactions, you're able to systematize some of those transactions, you're able to start taking your ideas and be more efficient with them, filter them correctly, turn them in products and services that are being sold. Technically, you're able to start moving some of the day-to-day work to other people to help leverage your time to move your business further. Like, there's a whole rhythm with these 3 things that it takes maybe 3 years for you to find. I would say 4 to 5 years. But if you're not giving yourself that much time, you're robbing yourself. Trust me, you're robbing yourself. You're not going to do everything in your mind you think you want to do in a year. And if you think that way, I'm telling you what type of business owner and entrepreneur you are. You're a transformational person. You just think, I'm going to crush it in a year. And you never crush it. You never crush it. You never crush it. You know why? Because you don't have the other components. And then you got people who come in and they're just so focused on trying to fix everything and in the now, and they just always trying to make sure everything is perfect and polished and blah, 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 blah. And it could take them a lifetime to do it. And then you got people who are technical. They're so focused on what they do, and they think what they do is so good, they never get anywhere. This is why you got to have a composition of all three of them working together cohesively. All right. So this is one of the reasons why businesses stay small. All right. One of the reasons why is because owners don't know. And that's a big, big reason. Another reason why businesses stay small is because they don't innovate. Okay? They don't innovate. What do you mean by innovate? This is a second reason why businesses stay small. Okay? I'm helping you see why you should go big in your business. The second reason why businesses stay small is because they don't innovate. Why don't they innovate? Why don't the businesses innovate? Let me give you a couple of the synonyms to help you understand what I mean by innovate. They don't pivot. They don't expand. They don't change. Now, why would you think businesses that stay small because they don't innovate? Why would you think businesses don't pivot? Why would you think businesses don't expand? Why would you think businesses don't change? I'm going to tell you why. Because the owners, they don't pivot. They don't pivot. And so when an owner doesn't pivot, what that means is an owner doesn't become innovative in their thinking on what is the next best way to do what I'm doing. Pivoting is not leaving one industry or one space or one vehicle and moving into another industry, space, or vehicle. It could be at some point, but pivoting means that you're still on the court. Have you ever seen people that play basketball? You know, the playoffs are going on right now. And when a player grabs the ball, if a player bounces the ball and dribbles and stops, they can't start dribbling again. So now what they have to do is, on one leg, they have to keep one foot on the floor, and they got to be able to move the other foot. It's called a pivot, because they're trying to find who they could pass it to get the pass back, or if they could shoot it, but they can't double dribble. And so what a lot of business owners don't do in their lack of innovation is they don't get the ball and either pass the ball to get an assist so somebody else can shoot it, or at least find people that they can throw the ball to so that they can give them an opportunity to get in a better position, and then they throw the ball back to them. So Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, these type of players, they were always good for that. They'll be bouncing the ball, and then they'll get people behind them, and then they'll start bouncing it, and then they'll stop and hold it, and they know they can't bounce it again, so they'll call somebody else around and say, come here, and they'll throw the ball to them only for them to move, and then they'll throw the ball back. And so a lot of times your innovation as a business owner is gonna determine, your innovation is gonna determine your pivot, it's gonna determine your expansion, and it's going to determine your change. But you do not leave the court. You don't leave the court. So just because your product and your service is not selling doesn't mean it's not a good product and service. But sometimes you need to throw the ball to someone else who could take a look at what you're doing before you make all these moves on your own. I talk to a lot of clients and a lot of students who are in our training programs regularly, and they start telling me all these decisions that they're making or changes that they're making in their business, but their changes haven't been made within themselves. And what they do is they leave this whole body of work and they try something else. And you're just going backwards. You're gonna stay small. You can never expand. You've got to figure out how to become innovative with what you're doing to get better at it. How could you better perfect what you're doing? How many different angles can you find within what you're doing, okay? And so that's going to be very, very critical. So the second reason why businesses stay small is because they don't innovate. And the main thing that doesn't, or person that doesn't innovate, is not necessarily the business. The business is only a reflection of the owner. And here's the third reason before I go. The third reason why businesses stay small is because the owners fear, that's what it is fear the unknown. Owners fear the unknown. And you would think to yourself, well, I can't believe that. I don't think people around here are fearful. Well, it depends on what your definition of fear is. Because fear can be apprehension. Fear can be uncertainty. Fear can be a lack of confidence. Fear can be confusion. Fear can be paralysis. So when you think about owners fearing the unknown, let's not just look at fear and say, oh, they scared. No, let's look at some of these other synonyms. Owners can fear the unknown by being apprehensive. So it's certain things that you don't know. So guess what? You're going to be apprehensive. When you're apprehensive, you're like, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? If you're questioning certain decisions you should make for your business to grow, it's because you have fear as a business owner, period. You have fear because you're apprehensive. If you're uncertain, well, I just don't know what to do. Uncertainty is a version of fear. And here's what some of you have to start understanding. A lot of the definitions that you use for words are wrong. You have to accept that. A lot of the definitions that you use for words are wrong. And this is why so many business owners are confused. They lack confidence. They're paralyzed. They're uncertain. They're apprehensive. You know why? Because they just think, oh, the opposite of fear is faith. That's the favorite quote I hear. The opposite of fear is faith. Fear is false evidence appearing real. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means nothing to people who say it. Fear is F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. Okay, so what does that mean? What does false evidence, it doesn't make sense. It's not even something logically I can process. No, we're fearful of the unknown when we're apprehensive. We're unwilling to move into what we don't know. We're unwilling to accept something that people are telling us needs to be accepted, but we are fearful because we don't know it and we're apprehensive. If you're uncertain about certain things in your business, your uncertainty is fear. If you lack confidence, if you do not have the confidence that you're supposed to have, it's fear-based. If you're confused about something in your business, it's fear-based. If you are paralyzed by what you don't know or paralyzed in a certain phase of your business, it's fear-based. These are the reasons why businesses stay small. So what do we want to do? What did we say we have to do? We wrote down, I gotta go big. I gotta go big. So what does going big mean? How can I go big in my business? How can you go big in your business? Matter of fact, I want you to tell me what things can you do to go big in your business. So we'll look at it this way. We'll look at education. We'll look at education. We'll look at maybe coaching, consulting. We'll look at education, training. We'll look at staff, support. We'll look at systems, processes. So let's just look at these areas here, okay? We'll just look at these 4 areas here. And you tell me, out of all of these areas here, what are the areas that you know you need to go big in? And don't tell me it ain't none. What areas do you need to go big in? Because if you're going small in some of these areas and you're not seeing the financial result, like for example, I have a lot of people who are in our Millionaire Blueprint program. So this is an online educational and training program, right? So every day they get access for a whole year to videos, to training modules, to lessons, to teach them about business ownership, sales, marketing, systems, processes, goal setting, financial literacy. But guess what happens? Most of the people, and I'm really saddened to say this, but most of the people who join my Millionaire Blueprint, my online virtual program, they have access to the education. Most of them don't develop the habits to go on there every day. They don't develop the habits to go on there every day. But one of the reasons why they choose to be educated virtually, because the cost of this is lower than the cost of being coached and consulted. So the decision they make is not a go big decision. The decision they make is a think small and stay small decision. And so because they can't make sense of paying money to be coached and consulted so that they can get to big, they just do something that they feel is safe and it keeps them small. Where for me, I'm that kind of person that if I'm paying for certain things that I need and I have an option to pay, let's say for online education, because I've been in the same position. This is why I can attract people who are willing to do the things that I do, because when somebody comes into my ecosystem and they make go big decisions with products and services and programs that I have, they are only reflecting the type of go big decisions that I have personally made. So when I gotta go big, I'm pushing all my chips in the middle of the table, because for one, I ain't got nothing to lose. And for two, I've done it so many times, I know it actually works. It's scary now. You feel a little funny at first, but once you go big and you start seeing results, there's never a time in your life that you're not gonna wanna go big. So there are a lot of decisions I'm making right now in my business, and guess what I'm doing? I'm checking the education box because I need more education and training, but I also need coaching and consulting. So I got to check that box. I need staff, support, systems, and processes. And so for me, one of the biggest decisions I'm making right now, if I had to choose one of these, I'm going to choose, my first one is going to be staff and support, because that's what I'm doing right now. But again, I can choose staff and support right now because I already have coaches. I'm already being coached and consulted. So I already have that. I'm already being educated and trained, and I have systems and processes. So I want you to let me know if you had to make some go big decisions today. Like today, if you needed to make some go big decisions, What areas, what would be the priority? What would be the priority? Where do you need to make the go big decisions on? Some of you need to be coached and consulted. This is why I'm always pushing it, because when you don't have people pushing you, when you don't have people in your ear every day, when you don't have people reminding you and holding you accountable on what you have to do every day, most likely all this other stuff is not going to work. Because if you hire staff and you bring in people to support you, but you're not a go big thinker, you're not seeing the bigger picture, you don't have the right systems and processes, and you might not even have the education and training to give to your people. So when I got to the office this morning, one of the first things my personal assistant told me, it was a compliment she got. She just signed somebody up for one of our programs, and the person on the other end of the phone said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I guess the question to her was, where did you go to school? Like, where did you get trained to be so good? You're extremely good at what you do. Like, where did you go to school? And she was like, "Oh, Mr. Preston taught me. This is a educational company. Like, we train and educate ourselves as well as people." And so that was a major, major compliment. So if I did not have the ability and the capacity to provide to my staff what I haven't provided for myself, we wouldn't be big. We wouldn't continue to grow. We wouldn't continue to go big. We would stay small. So I really want you to think about, what are your go big decisions that you need to make today? What are those go big decisions that you need to make today? Now, for some of you, one of the biggest decisions you need to make today is you need to be a part of a business community. And again, I have an online training program that you can join and educate yourself. But you got to be honest. If you know you're not a self-starter, if you know you're not disciplined to get on an online platform every day and study and train and learn, like my staff, anybody that works for my company, they have to start their day with some form of training. And I will give them a pop quiz, because I can go online and see if they're actually going through those modules. And so they don't have to do a lot of studying and training, but they have to do some, whether it's one module for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. They have to put that time in every day, at least Monday through Friday when we're working, okay? But they can do it as a team because I'm holding them accountable, because they basically have a built-in coach. So if I have a coaching program and I'm a consultant and people work for me, they're actually, hacking my own business, because you get a coach and a consultant for yourself because you're a part of that. But if you don't have that, and you just don't have the muscle yet built to hold yourself accountable, to stay on a regimen every day, a schedule every day, to train so that you can go big and stay big. Because there are a lot of people, I know people who owned businesses that went big but didn't stay big. But I'm not going to go big and not stay big. You know why? Because I'm going to continue to educate myself, train. I'm going to continue to be coached. I'm going to be held accountable. I'm going to have the best consultants in my life. I'm going to get the best staff. I'm going to train them. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to buy the best systems and processes. Like, I'm going to check all of those boxes. And you need to put a plan together to check those boxes. Well, guess what? We have a program that can help you check all of those boxes. The truth is, I've got 5 signature programs. So we have an online virtual program. It's called the Millionaire Blueprint. It's an online business and financial training program. You get access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can learn at your own pace if that's where you are in your growth process. You can access it. You can get onboarded immediately. And guess what? At any point you feel like you need to be coached and consulted and you need more hands-on training and support and accountability, we have a 1-year accelerated coaching and consulting program called the Millionaire Mentorship Program. And so with this program, we give you access to our online training platform, but we also provide weekly coaching calls like tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. I'll be conducting our weekly coaching call. I'm going to be training actually on these three components of the technical, the transactional, and the transformational. Every Monday we train you, we talk to you. It's live, it's interactive. You can ask questions. You are in a business community with other people, some of whom are making six figures and moving towards becoming millionaires themselves. There are people from different walks of life, from different industries and spaces, and you're able to collaborate and be a part of that business community. We also provide one-on-one coaching sessions with you, and our one-on-one coaching sessions are built around a certain process. We have a certain process that we conduct for your one-on-one coaching. We take you through an assessment. We assess your personal goals, your professional goals, your financial goals. We help you quantify those goals to figure out what is the dollar amount you want to hit. We help you identify with what type of infrastructure do you need. Do you need a holding company? Or a holding company and divisions or subsidiaries? You may already have LLCs, but they may not be structured right. We help show you how to restructure them. We also help you develop your products and your services. If you have ideas, you don't know how to turn them into products and services. You don't know how to price them right. You don't know how to package them or present them. You might not even know how to position yourself in the market. Well, we coach you through each phase and each step of that process. We also help you figure out what systems and processes do you need. Do you need a sales system with a sales process? We'll show you how to put one together. Do you need a marketing system and process, financial system and process, operational system and process? Most of the time you need all four. Well, we show you, we train you on that, we work with you, and in this coaching program we provide workshops on a regular basis to dig into the nuts and bolts of each of those systems and processes. We also give you an opportunity to come in certain days that we schedule for our headquarter days. You can literally join me in person, and you can shadow me and my team for a day, at least maybe 5-6 hours on that day, and you get a chance to experience what does $1 million company look like. We're on our way to be a multi-million-dollar company. That's what I'm working towards. And guess what? I want you to see it in real time, especially because we got so many people on the internet. You know, they capping, they faking, and they acting like they something that they not. But we want to show you what it really looks like to run an organizational enterprise and to build it in real time. So I want you to make the decision today, and I want that decision to be a go big decision. Don't keep making small decisions, because if you keep doing what you've done before today's show, you're going to keep getting the same results. Now, guess what? Just in case an online training program or a coaching program is something that might not fit your criteria, we have a certification program for coaches and consultants. If you're a coach and a consultant and you want to learn how to properly do it so that you can build a legitimate coaching and consulting business, well, guess what? I show you how to do it because I'm doing it, so I know how it works. And guess what? I know I can easily say, oh, I'll show you how to build a six-figure coaching business. I've been past six figures as a coach and a consultant, so that I'll show you that in my sleep. And I'm not trying to say that like, you know, boastfully, but it's just the truth. So I know how to show you this same system, this same process, and the way it should work in order for you to be able to monetize. Because most people who become coaches and consultants, they really don't know how to do it. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their services are. They don't know what their specialties are. So we walk you through each phase of becoming a legitimate coaching and consulting firm. We have a certification program where we certify you. And you better believe, I'm not going to certify you if you ain't figured it out. So we're going to make sure you have it. We also have an incubator program where we work with you as consultants. We become a part of your team. We have a licensing program. So I don't know where you are in the vast or broad scope of entrepreneurship, but I want you to know that we have put together steps in our ecosystem that we can walk you through each step to get you to wherever you want to go. All you have to do is text the word millionaire, because you should want to be a millionaire, at least a millionaire. And here's what we're going to do when you text the word millionaire to this number. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. Here's what we're going to do. When you text millionaire to this number, we're going to reach back out to you today. We'll take a few minutes over the phone to walk you through a preliminary assessment so that we can help you identify with what exactly are you intending to accomplish. What do you want to do in your finances? What do you want to do in your business? What do you want to do in your personal life? How can we put all of it together and put a game plan that we can execute? And then once we walk you through that preliminary assessment, we can then share with you what our programs are and what program best fits your criteria. So my staff and my team and myself, we don't force you into a certain program that doesn't fit your criteria. We take the information that you're sharing with us on what you want to accomplish. We show you how we can help you accomplish it and what program we have that best fits the criteria. You can either accept it or reject it. It's up to you, but at least you know if this is what you want to accomplish, if this is where you want to go, this is how you need to do it, and here's the program that we have to make that happen. And so that's why we have online programs, we have coaching programs, we have consulting programs, we have certification programs, we have licensing programs. And guess what? I've got people who are in all 5 of our programs because one of those programs best fits their criteria. I have people who started in one and ended up in another one as they continue to grow and see results. Because here's what my objective is: to get you results. And if those results are not showing up on your profit and loss statement, those are not results. I don't care about all this other fluffy stuff. Oh, I feel like a better person, or, I just wake up, thinking big. No. We want that to show up on your P&L. Is it showing up in your sales? Because if your business is not growing, if your business is not getting bigger, your business is getting smaller and it's failing. And ain't nothing around here gonna fail, at least on my watch. So I want you to text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. And if you're unwilling, if you're apprehensive, if you're uncertain, if you're confused about what I'm telling you to do right now, you really need to go back and rewatch this whole show today to see how you are becoming a statistic of a small business that will inevitably fail. I don't want that to be your story. So I look forward to hearing from you. I appreciate all of you for joining the Ramon Preston Show today. For those of you that I didn't get a chance to say anything to across this airwave on Friday before the weekend, I'll just say, if you are a mother, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you, even though we're a day past it, but Happy Mother's Day to you. I love and appreciate all of you. Even if you do not join any of our programs, would you please be so kind to leave a comment? Let the community that watch these videos know that we're giving people value, that we're really helping people. And so that would mean the world to me. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. You can follow me on other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, all at Ramon Preston. But your love, your prayers, they mean everything to me, and your support, your participation, your engagement, your comments, your questions, your likes, your shares. These are the things that help us get the exposure that we need so that the mission and the assignment that I have to really help educate my people and train them and develop them so that they can be successful ministry and business leaders, you're helping to make that happen. So I appreciate all of you. I'll be back here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to seeing you right here on the Ramon Preston Show.